So on August 13th, YouTube is going to do something that I feel, and I'm not saying this to kiss up to YouTube or anything, but I feel is probably the best thing they've done in a while. They are implementing, easy for me to say, implementing an AI detection system. But it's not just any AI detection system, it's an AI age verification detection system. Now, they have gone on record in saying that the AI that they're going to be utilizing will probably mess up at times, and thus you and I may have to go out and verify, that we are exactly what we say we are. And that's 18 and above. But one of the things they're taking into account, as a strong possibility not to have you verify, one of the things they're taking into account is the longevity of your channel. So if your channel's been around for almost 2 decades like mine has, and like James Rolfe, the Angry Video Game Nerds has, and Nostalgia Critic, and Linkara, and Angry Joe, and Pat the NES Punk, and many others, if your channel has been around for almost 2 decades, if not a decade period, then you're good. You're golden. Yeah, they're also going to, they're going to program the AI to look into the search history that you've had, the watch history, and even the content you upload, as well as to determine whether or not you are of the age you say you are. But for people like me and like James and others, we're good. We're golden. Because not only do we have a variety of content, but facially we are on camera for most of our videos. And by being facially on camera, they see us for who we are. They see us being the age that we are appropriately to be. In my case, I'm 46 now, so so go figure on that. But anyway, that's basically, to me, the saving grace. They're gonna, the fact that they're gonna look at the content you've uploaded, look at the fact that you've been on camera for most of that content, or majority of that content, and they're gonna look at the longevity. And once they see that, they'll basically, pretty much the AI, will basically be like, okay, that person is, of age. That person is 18 and above. But then again, there are those that are not happy about this because pretty much they feel YouTube and Google is using this on behalf of the government to spy on them. And they don't like that. But that's not true. What they're doing is they're basically filtering out, who's of age and who's not. Because those that the AI that they're going to program, to do this, I'm trying to find the right words to say, that they're going to program to do this, those that are not of age, they're going to lose out on a few things. They're going to lose out on certain features, possibly monetization, and they're going to lose out on watching certain channels and videos. And I believe the reason YouTube's doing this as well is YouTube notices that a lot of the content creators, they're staying put on YouTube because that's basically financially where they make the money, but they're noticing some of them are migrating, or not just migrating, but expanding their content to other platforms like Rumble, like Odyssey, like VENMO, like Dailymotion, like Internet Archive, like Twitch, like Kick, like Facebook and Twitter and Blue Sky and so on. They're noticing this and they don't like it. And the reason people are doing this is not only does it expand their content to other platforms and to other audiences, but they also probably see this because of the fact that they know some of these content creators want to go to places and upload their content. Well, yeah, they might have a little bit more freedom, but also they don't have to deal with trolls. They don't have to deal with cyberbullies, people that want to comment on your videos and say something unruly. And that's why they're doing it. And YouTube and Google are like, okay, we hear you, we're going to take care of this, and that's why they're doing this. Because a majority of the people, they obviously get found out, or basically YouTube and Google get told about that could potentially be behind these, comments and cyberbullying and trolling and all that. A majority of the people that get, called out for that are teens or tweens or whatever you want to call them, adolescents. People starting high school, in the middle of high school, in the middle of junior high, middle school, coming out of elementary, going into junior high. Those are the ones that are doing it. So what YouTube, in my opinion, is doing is they're going to use this new AI detecting system to filter out those, those false, false accounts, or those accounts basically, that are under the false pretense of 18 and above when they're not. That's what's going to happen. And when they do that, basically, it's going to make those people, those YouTube users, either have to hand over their account to their parent, or basically stay off YouTube until they're, till they're of age, and everything. Or until they basically learn, okay, if I want to get back on YouTube, but I want to keep my channel, I got to prove I'm mature and everything. I got to do that. That's the only way they'd probably be able to, remain or get, remain on the channel and probably get back what they'd be losing. That's the only way. But to me, YouTube and Google are doing this for a reason, and that reason is to filter out, those that would cause trouble on the regular scale of the 18 and above. That's what they're doing. Now, does this piss off parents too? Yeah, it pisses off parents too, because sometimes they have to have a YouTube account to put on stuff for their kids, do YouTube or YouTube Kids. So, yeah, it's going to piss them off, but again, what makes it easy to verify that they are of age for that channel, and that they're only using that channel for the kid, what makes things easy is the verification through government ID, which is state driver's license, a passport, a real ID, or state ID. Credit card if you have YouTube Premium, or facial scan, which they still should have from the previous time we've done that. So to me, I have no issue with this. Am I probably going to have to do a verification when it happens? Probably. Probably. I have no problem with that. But what they're going to do is they're going to let you know. They're going to go to your email account that's attached to your YouTube page, and they're going to say, hey, we need you to verify you are of the age you say you are. And once they do, and once you get that notice, all you have to do is follow the instructions. And they're going to give you that option. Either it's your ID, your credit card, or your facial scan. And after you do it, you should be good to go. You shouldn't have nothing to worry about. I mean, I did it one time years ago, and it helped me. I had nothing to worry about. I mean, my channel's been good since then. I mean, yeah, it's had some trouble here and there, but it's been good since then. And yes, the other thing that's going to probably help, help my channel not have to go through that is some of the videos I have uploaded, are limited availability. Like, yeah, I can monetize them, but because of the content involved, they're limited. They're limited, and restricted from, certain, from certain sponsors and everything probably wanting to put their ads on them. It's like I'll still make money off it, but, they'll be very limited in what kind of ad revenue I can get because of the content. And that's the other thing too. If I'm monetizing, and I've been monetizing for a couple of years now, along with the longevity of my channel being 17 years plus, that to me too, along with me being on camera doing videos, that to me too will allow me to probably, bypass the whole verification thing. Same with James Rolfe, same with Doug Walker, same with Angry Joe, same with Linkara, and so on. It'll allow us to probably bypass that because of the longevity of our channel, us being on camera and everything, and some of our content may be being limited in availability due to what's involved, what's on it and everything. So to me, I don't think a lot of us long-time YouTube veterans, if you will, legends, if you will, are going to have anything to worry about. We won't. But again, I think those that are really upset about this are not just going to be the parents that may have to verify and everything, that may have to do this because they use the YouTube thing for their kids and all that, but it's also the young adolescents. It's those that just create YouTube accounts not just to upload content, but mostly to watch videos, comment and stuff, and sometimes just comment because they want to be troublemakers, and that's it. So I think in the end, what people need to understand is YouTube and Google, you may not agree with what they're doing. And again, I'm not saying, and listen, I'm not saying this to kiss up to YouTube or anything, but you may not agree with YouTube and Google, what YouTube and Google are doing with this, but at the end of the day, you're going to appreciate it. Because at the end of the day, what's going to happen is you're going to see less and less of trollish comments and cyberbullying comments on your videos. You're going to see less and less of that. because of the fact that this AI has filtered that out. They filtered it out, and those comments, those individuals, they won't be able to see what you do because they're going to be limited. They're going to be limited, and they can't say anything. They won't be able to say anything, period, because either they're going to have to either, because the only way I think they'll be able to watch is either they hand over the account to the parents, like I said earlier, or they just don't do anything for a while, and that's it. But yeah, basically at the end of the day, folks, again, I'm not trying to kiss up to YouTube or Google, because I've had my issues with them in the past too. But looking at it from this perspective, they are doing what they can to clean things up and make things better for this platform. And if that means they have to do this to ensure that we, as the content creators, of YouTube, can create and upload content in peace and everything, and not have to worry maybe about some young kids under the false pretense of an 18-year-old with a YouTube account, which, in reality they're not 18, coming on and saying, oh, your stuff sucks and all that. If it means, getting rid of that and everything in the future, then so be it. The other thing we have to look into facts as well, folks, is YouTube is going to slowly roll this out on the 13th. It's not going to roll out entirely all across the country and the globe and everything in one day. No, it's slowly going to roll out. And the reason it's going to slowly roll out, in my opinion, is they're going to use that slow rollout with several users to basically see whether or not there are some glitches, some bugs, some kinks that have to be worked out. And if they see it, they'll probably, not roll it out, they'll probably slow the rollout, I should say, down a little bit, the rollout of it down a bit, so they can look into those bugs, into those into those glitches, into those quirks, into those kinks, and fix them. So basically, if you're worried about it, you don't have to worry about it right away, because it's going to be a slow rollout. It's going to be a casual rollout, and over time, you probably will see something, but I think it's just going to be slow and casual, so they can see to see whatever bugs they have to work out before they can do a complete rollout. It's not a test, it is an official rollout, but it's being done slow and casually, so they can see what bugs, kinks, quirks, and glitches they have to work on before they completely do more rolling out of the detections of this AI detection system over time. And who knows? Maybe people will get what they want, because a lot of people are saying, hey, we need to contact Google. We need to boycott Google. We need to contact our Congress. We need to do this and that, because they don't like this. And who knows? YouTube, Google might see this. They might see the mass backlash that it might get, and they might be, okay, look, we're not gonna do it anymore. We're gonna stop right now. And maybe they'll just say, hey, look, we've had a change of heart. We're not going to we're not going to roll this out right away, but we are going to give you a warning to please be complimentary, in what you say. Don't be rude. Basically, if YouTube and Google get the message of, hey, people don't want this, and maybe they stop, not saying they're not going to continue doing it in the future, but let's say YouTube and Google get the message and they say after a few weeks, okay, we're not going to do it anymore, but we're still going to have it, on hand just in case. We're still going to have it on the ready, just in case. I wouldn't be surprised if YouTube or Google come out and say, look, if you don't want us to, release this again, please be courteous to each other, please be complimentary about each other, and please, if you have kids that have YouTube accounts under the false pretense of 18, please, parents, take control of it. That potentially could be what happens, but we don't know. So we'll see what occurs. But to me, again, I'm not saying this to kiss up to YouTube or Google, because I've had my problems with them in the past. But to me, honestly, this is actually going to be a good thing. And the verification, if it happens to you, happens to me or anything, it's not going to be that big of a deal, because it'll be just like it was years ago. That's all it's going to be. But let me know what your thoughts are, guys, on the whole YouTube's new AI, AI detection, ID detection system, or age verification detection system, excuse me there. Let me know what your thoughts are on it, guys. How do you feel about it, and everything? Do you think this is a good thing and all that? And do you think the people that are actually pissed about this, happening are those that have the YouTube accounts that are that you say they're 18 but they're not? Let me know what your thoughts are. Let me know what your thoughts are on it down below in the comment section, as well as during the live chat during the premiere. Like the video, ring the bell for notifications, subscribe to the channel, click on the links in the description and everything. Ring the bell for notifications, share the video. Also, click on the link to the Teespring store for merchandise you can't get anywhere else. But guys, give me your thoughts on this. How do you feel about it? And until next time, I'm out.